Absence sharpens love. Presence strengthens it. Thomas Fuller. Gentlemen, let's be honest. A woman doesn't truly appreciate your presence until she experiences your absence. You may think she values having you around, but the real test is when you're not there. That's when her true feelings come to light. Today, we're breaking down what a woman feels when you're not around. Here's the truth. When you're absent, a woman goes through a mental and emotional process that reveals her true feelings. Some women will miss you deeply, others will feel uncertain, and some may not feel anything at all, which itself is a message. But many men miss this because they're too focused on chasing or over-explaining things that aren't broken. Let me guide you through the 5 key emotions a woman experiences when you're absent and how to maintain control in your relationships. Let's dive in. 1. When she questions your value. When a woman is faced with your absence, she is forced to confront a simple yet powerful question. Was he truly worth my time? It's not just the absence itself that stirs her, but rather the void left by the unique qualities you brought into her life. If you were merely another man flooding her phone with texts, seeking constant validation, or being overly available, your absence won't leave much of an emotional impact. The truth is, if you didn't add something substantial to her life, the gap left by your absence won't be significant. However, if you were the kind of man who exuded leadership, excitement, and the sense of security that comes from a strong presence, she will quickly feel that void when you step away. At first, she may not fully recognize the weight of your absence. She'll keep herself busy, still soaking in attention from others, continuing with her daily routine as if nothing changed. But as time passes, the questions will start to arise. What was it about him that made me feel special? Was it his confidence, his ambition, the way he made me feel seen and valued? These thoughts will slowly seep into her mind. She will begin to question why she ever admired you, even as she tries to fill the silence with other distractions. The true test comes when she realizes that no other man is quite measuring up. If you were a man who stood firm, who had clear standards, and who never made her feel like she had easy access to your time and attention, your absence will be felt deeply. She'll begin to notice the lack of excitement, the absence of masculine energy, the sense of security you provided. Once that realization sets in, the longing for those qualities will emerge. She'll crave the things she once took for granted. On the other hand, if you were too eager to please, always available, always putting her happiness above your own, she won't feel much of a loss. In fact, she may even feel relieved, thinking to herself that your absence only confirms what she deep down suspected. You weren't as valuable to her as she once thought. This dynamic is crucial for every man to understand. In modern relationships, the balance between presence and absence isn't just about physical distance, it's about how much you bring to the table, emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. When a man stands strong, sets boundaries, and doesn't lose himself in the pursuit of another's validation, he creates a value that no one else can easily replicate. If you want to engage in this topic further or share your thoughts, drop a comment below. Have you experienced a situation where your absence led to a deeper appreciation? Or did you find that your presence wasn't as impactful as you thought? Let's discuss. 2. Her ego takes a hit. When you pull away from a woman, it's easy for her to act like she doesn't care, but make no mistake, her ego definitely notices. Women are conditioned to be pursued, to receive constant attention, and to have men vying for their attention and approval. They are used to men who are eager to impress them, to win them over, and to make sure they know they're being thought of. Whether it's small gestures, constant compliments, or just sending a quick text to check in, it's all part of the attention loop that they're used to. So when you suddenly stop participating in that dynamic, when you withdraw your attention, it disrupts everything. It's not that she doesn't feel it right away, but her ego notices. At first, she might brush it off. Oh, he must be busy. He'll text me soon. No big deal. But as the hours stretch into days, and the days turn into a week with no sign of contact, That's when things start to shift. The confusion sets in. Why hasn't he reached out? Did I do something wrong? What's going on? And in those moments, the insecurity begins to creep in. Her ego is used to being constantly fed, and when it's not, it becomes rattled. In the modern dating world, most men operate from a place of fear of losing the woman, fear of being forgotten, and the ever-present fear that she might find someone else who will be more available, more attentive, and more present. This fear leads many men to keep sending those meaningless, "Hey, how's your day?" texts, or liking every single one of her posts just to remain on her radar. They do this out of the belief that if they don't, she might lose interest, or worse, find someone else who will be more consistent, more available, or more willing to give her the attention she seeks. But the man who truly understands his value doesn't operate from fear. He understands that his attention is not something to be given away recklessly, especially to someone who hasn't earned it. His attention is a reward, and it's a powerful one. When he removes it, she feels it. By pulling away, you're not punishing her, nor are you doing it from a place of malice or anger. You're simply establishing boundaries and demonstrating that you don't rely on external validation to feel good about yourself. You understand that your time, your energy, and your attention are valuable, and they aren't to be given out of fear of losing someone, but because someone has earned it. When you withdraw it, the power dynamic shifts. Suddenly, she's not the one in control anymore. She's no longer receiving endless validation from you, and that's an unsettling feeling for many women, especially if they're used to being the center of attention. It's in this moment that her ego is affected. She's no longer the one receiving the chase, and that alone causes a shift in how she sees you. She begins to wonder why you haven't reached out, why you haven't continued to feed the loop she's accustomed to. But here's the crucial part. You're not withdrawing because you don't care. You're withdrawing because you care about yourself, and you understand that relationships should never be about keeping someone's attention out of fear. By showing that you won't constantly chase, you're communicating that your attention is earned, not a given. In doing so, you begin to shift the power dynamic. The man who can control his desire to chase, who can hold his ground and not fear the loss of someone who isn't invested in him equally, is the man who will find respect in the eyes of the woman. When she feels the loss of your attention, her perception of you changes. She begins to realize that you are a high-value individual, someone who does not easily give away their time and affection. She may even start to chase you herself, because she realizes that she needs to work to earn the respect and affection you've been offering. This is where the modern Stoic philosophy comes into play. A Stoic man understands the importance of self-discipline, emotional control, and, most importantly, self-respect. He is not ruled by his emotions, and certainly not by the fear of losing someone. Instead, he maintains control over his own emotions and actions, allowing him to navigate relationships with confidence and wisdom. When you apply Stoicism to your interactions with women, you understand that your value is intrinsic, not dependent on anyone else's actions. You don't need to chase because you are already enough. And when you let go of the need to seek external validation, it shifts the entire dynamic in your favor. By pulling away when necessary, by setting boundaries and maintaining your sense of self-worth, you take control of your relationships. You don't become passive or distant. You become intentional. You show that your attention is valuable, and you make it clear that if someone wants it, they have to earn it. And this, my friend, is the key to turning the tables in your favor. It's the modern Stoic approach to relationships, one where you stand firm in your self-respect, one where you let go of fear and embrace the strength that comes from knowing your value. If you found this valuable, comment below and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember, I am a high-value man and my attention is earned. 3. She feels a power shift. When you step back and create space, the power dynamics in a relationship shift in ways that most men fail to realize. Women, by nature, are accustomed to holding control in the dating game. They know the routine. Men are often eager to win their attention, quick to text first, quick to double text if they're ignored, and always trying to impress in ways that make them feel powerful. This is the pattern most men unknowingly fall into, thinking it's just the way things go. But here's the truth. The moment you pull away, the game changes. At first, she won't think much of it. She'll assume you're just playing hard to get. After all, men always come back, don't they? But as time goes on, and the texts don't come, the calls go unanswered, and the usual persistence fades into nothing, she begins to feel something that's foreign to her: uncertainty. And here's the hard truth. Women don't like uncertainty, especially when they've always been the ones to call the shots. When a woman walks into a situation with confidence, knowing she holds the power, she believes she can easily replace you. She assumes that, like so many others before, you'll always chase after her, always want her. But when you remove yourself, without a word, without begging, without trying to re-establish contact, something shifts in her. It's uncomfortable, and she can't ignore it. Maybe I wasn't as important to him as I thought. This is the power of Stoic detachment. It's about standing firm, not being controlled by the ebb and flow of her emotions or her need for constant validation. When you stop reacting, when you stop chasing, you disrupt the pattern, forcing her to reassess her place in your life. And that uncertainty? It makes her wonder, makes her feel a shift she can't control. It's only in the absence of pursuit that she truly feels the weight of your value. Remember, this is the essence of Stoicism. You cannot let your emotions dictate your actions in relationships. You are the master of your emotions, not the other way around. When you act with strength and resolve, you are not just preserving your own worth, but subtly shifting the power dynamics in your favour. It's not about manipulation, it's about self-respect. Never be afraid to stand your ground. And if you understand the truth in this, drop a comment right now. I control my emotions. I control my life. Like this video, subscribe, and remember, detachment is strength. 4. Her attraction intensifies. When you step back and create distance, a woman's attraction doesn't fade, it intensifies. This isn't because she's suddenly falling deeper in love, but because the mind works in mysterious ways. Distance creates a sense of longing, and people naturally crave what they can't easily access. This is exactly what happens when you stop being constantly available. Women are not attracted to men who bombard them with attention, day in and day out. Instead, they are drawn to emotionally engaging experiences, ones that elicit curiosity and ignite a sense of uncertainty. The real power of attraction lies in leaving some things to the imagination. As the famous philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." When you are always there, always responsive, always present, you take away the very thing that sparks desire, mystery. The constant validation and instantaneous responses may seem like the right approach, but they actually lead to complacency. She knows she has your attention at all times, and because of that, she has no reason to pursue you further. There's no thrill of the chase. The mystery vanishes, and without it, attraction starts to fizzle. But when you pull back, when she realizes that she is no longer the center of your world, something shifts. It's the uncertainty that now makes her question where she stands with you. She'll start to wonder what's going on, why you're not always available, and, most importantly, whether she's still a priority for you. It's this uncertainty that fuels attraction, giving her the emotional engagement she craves. When you create that space, you invite her to wonder, to chase, and to invest emotionally. This, in turn, draws her in even more. The lesson here is simple. By stepping back and creating some distance, you regain control of the dynamic. You allow her to experience the kind of emotional engagement that makes her want to pursue you, something she may not have felt when you were constantly there. So, next time you feel the urge to overextend yourself, remember, sometimes less is more. Let her miss you. Let her wonder. That's how attraction grows. If you agree with this, drop a comment below. I understand the power of distance. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom, And remember, mystery is the key to maintaining attraction. 5. She tests you. When a woman feels the absence of a man, it's not uncommon for her to test him. It's her way of seeing if she still holds a place in his world, checking whether her power to capture his attention remains intact. This isn't always intentional. More often than not, it's subconscious, a reflection of her emotional response to the distance between you. The tests she conducts are not random. They have a distinct purpose. She wants to gauge whether you'll break the silence, whether you're emotionally invested, or if, perhaps, you've truly moved on. At first, these tests may appear subtle. She might like an old post, casually bring you up in conversations with mutual friends, or view your social media stories. These seemingly innocuous actions are designed to catch your eye without appearing desperate or chasing after you. If you don't respond the way she hopes, however, she escalates her efforts. Suddenly, you might receive a random text. "Hey, hope you're doing well." It may seem harmless enough, a simple check-in, but it's more than that. It's a test of your emotional availability. She's watching closely to see how you respond. If your reply is immediate, enthusiastic, or you start putting in extra effort to win her attention, she'll know she still has you in her grasp. However, if your response is calm, indifferent, or if you choose not to reply at all, that's when things start to shift. The more unbothered you remain, the more intense her testing becomes. She might show up unexpectedly at places she knows you frequent, post cryptic messages on her social media as if directed at you, or flirt with other men just to provoke a reaction. This is a moment of power dynamic reversal. If she was once the one in control, your absence has disrupted that balance, and now she needs to see if she can regain that influence. Many men, unaware of the game she's playing, fall right into her trap. They mistake these signs as a desire for reconciliation, and they eagerly jump at the opportunity to reconnect. They respond with excitement, rush to reinitiate conversations, and fall right back into old patterns that allowed her to take them for granted in the first place. But this is a mistake. A man who understands the dynamics of this situation, especially one who follows the principles of Stoic philosophy, doesn't fall for these tests. He knows that her actions are not a signal of wanting to rekindle the connection. They're about regaining control over him. He doesn't need to ignore her entirely, but he doesn't give her the emotional reassurance she's seeking. He keeps his responses brief and measured, doesn't initiate contact, and continues to live his life as he would, whether or not she's there. This controlled response is what shifts the power back in his favour. As the Stoics would advise, we must control our own emotions, not be controlled by the emotions of others. A man who remains steady, unshaken by her games, signals to her that he is the master of his own emotions. He remains focused on his path, unaffected by the turmoil around him. In doing so, he not only maintains his personal integrity, but also increases his value in her eyes. Remember, power in relationships is never about who cares more. It's about maintaining a sense of self and purpose. By staying grounded, you give the impression that your life isn't defined by her presence or absence, and that is when the real transformation takes place. What do you think about this? Have you ever found yourself caught in one of these tests? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss how we can all better navigate these power dynamics in relationships. A man who understands his own worth doesn't fear losing anyone. He is confident in the fact that the right people will recognize his value, without him needing to prove himself. When you step away, and a woman either chooses to pursue you or moves on, you don't lose, you gain clarity. Her reaction is the ultimate test. A woman who truly respects you will take the necessary steps to keep you in her life. But if she doesn't, she was never really yours in the first place. A man who values himself knows that he never has to beg to be chosen. At the end of the day, your absence removes the distractions, the superficial validation, and any power struggles. What's left? The truth. A woman's reaction to your absence reveals everything about her investment, her respect for you, and whether she truly values what you bring to the table. This is the reality every man must confront. Here's a harsh truth that many men struggle to accept. If a woman can replace you easily, you are never truly a priority. If she moves on without hesitation or treats your absence as if it means nothing, you are merely an option. A man who understands his own worth never allows himself to be anyone's option. Think about it. How many times have you seen a woman lose interest the moment a man starts chasing? How often do men panic when they feel a woman slipping away, only to push her even further with neediness? It's a cycle that repeats, but the only way to break it is by understanding that your value doesn't diminish just because she fails to recognize it. Now, I want to hear from you. When was a time a woman's reaction to your absence revealed her true intentions? Did she return with respect, or did she show you that you were never really a priority? Drop a comment below. I'll be reading through them and responding. This is a conversation that men need to have. And remember, a man who knows his worth never begs to be chosen. If you want to dive deeper into these topics, join my Podia community, link in the description. It's filled with powerful insights to help you master your masculinity in today's dating world. Stay strong, stay focused, and protect your power. Thanks for watching.